What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy, and I appreciate you stopping by. As hard as what it's going to be for everybody, I completely get that. I understand. Today we're going to talk about the playoff final game against Southampton, and before we get into sort of my views, thoughts, opinions, discussion points, all of those kinds of bits and pieces, I am going to let stuff fall on the floor apparently, but I am going to say congratulations to Southampton. Fair play, good luck in the Premiership next season, and yeah, we have to move on. Let's be honest and straightforward from the start. We didn't turn up, we didn't perform, we didn't do very well. We struggled to put chances together to make shots. The goal that Southampton scored, let's again be completely honest and upfront. If Ampadu doesn't step forward, then that goal's not scored. Ampadu steps forward and it leaves Armstrong in so much space, it's absolutely unbelievable. Meslier saves us from a free kick. Meslier saves us from a one-on-one to stop it from being 3-0. And that's, not to say that Southampton were all over us. That's not the case. We had the majority of the ball, but we just, again, sideways, backwards passes, etc., so on and so forth. That's what happened without the, in terms of the actual part of the game itself as well. We didn't look like anywhere near scoring a goal up until the point that James actually came on for me, and yeah, it's disappointing. It's very, very disappointing. But when you look at it in terms of the form table, it's maybe about what we expected. I think Somerville had a poor game. Nonto had a poor game, particularly after he took that knee to the back, I feel. Rutter was okay in parts. Piru was anonymous completely, but not his fault. No service was getting to him. We didn't have that hunger and that desire like what we had against Norwich. But again, you're playing against a team that is at a different level, and Southampton just at a different level. And, again, for these players, 46 games for the first time, a lot of them, it was tough for them. You could see by the players' reaction at the end of the game that, to some of them it means quite a lot. I think if we're all, being honest and talking about it as where we start for next season, another 46-game season next season, Somerville's gone. I think that's a given. I think we can all be realistic about that. I think Nonto's gone as well. From what we understand, or what I've been led to believe, not that I'm an ITK person, but the 49ers really like Rutter. I think we'll probably try and convince him to stay. I think there's probably a good chance we could maybe get Rutter to stay. Rodon is another one. Apparently he really likes it here, but it's just whether or not we're going to stump up the money to buy him and whether or not he wants to play another season in the Championship. Anthony goes back. I think that's an absolute given. We definitely need a left back. We definitely need a right back. We definitely need a striker, and we definitely need a number 10 without a shadow of a doubt. Those things are an absolute given, and we need it quick. We need it fast. We can't be pissing around like we were in the summer and at the start of last season. We need it done quick, in place, done. We need the players bedded in, and we need the players firing on all cylinders from the absolute start. Because I think for the 49ers, it was a two-season plan. If we got up at the first time of asking, it's a big bonus. But what they really wanted us to do was to do it within the 2 seasons. A lot of people are saying Fark out, and whilst I understand people's frustration with that, and I get it, he's not going anywhere. He signed a 4-year contract. For the 49ers to get rid of him is going to cost them an absolute fortune. So that's not happening. And for me, people's levels did drop off towards the end of the season. I'm going to do a proper full season review, I think, in about a week's time. But there's people's performances weren't great. Like I said, when it counted in this time around, I don't think Somerville had a very, very good game. I thought Nonto was being mildly petulant, as he usually is. And out of the two people that I think that the two players most likely to leave, I think those two are the most likely to go. I think that we need to potentially look at a new keeper as well. I would even hazard that we need two centre-backs, that we need a left and a right-hand side centre-back to come in. It's just difficult. I mean, everybody's stinging, everybody's annoyed, everybody's upset. You've got to try and be pragmatic with it. I was just sat on the Just Joe channel doing the immediate after-match review, and it just wasn't good enough. We need to learn to shoot as well. We need to learn to put shots in, even if we're outside of the box. Just have a go, because you never know what's going to happen. The ball could ricochet and move off anywhere, and we could do something with it. There could be someone there to put it into the box. There could be a Peru there to go in and, you know, get the tap in. There could be, you know, a James running in from the right-hand side, whoever from the left-hand side running in to have a tap in. I like I said, I'm down. And the weird, I think the reason why I'm not absolutely spitting feathers about it more than anything is that I kind of almost half expected it. And I think the thing that made me almost half expect it was, I think it's something in like 70% of the games, the team that scores first in a final often wins it. Or at least in the playoff final often wins it anyway. So whilst I'm, you know, annoyed, there's some of my anger that goes towards, you know, we're too passive in midfield. Kamara and Gruev just aren't doing, they're far too passive. They're not doing box to box. Kamara wasn't doing the same thing that he did in the Norwich game, which doesn't make any sense. And I think that our centre midfield is going to be made up of Ampadu and Gray eventually. I do think Kamara and Gruev are backups for those positions, which is why I say we need, you know, a left-sided centre-back and a right-sided centre-back. Bamford we won't see again in the Leeds shirt. I think that'll be it for Bamford. So step forward, Joseph. And again, Joseph came on in that game and he did more in the time than what a lot of the other players had done. He looked aggressive. He went for the ball. He wanted to make things happen. And, you know, it's that playoff final hoodoo thing that we have again. It's really hard because you want to sit here and you want to kind of express your anger. However, I'm not going to sit here and say bottle jobs, I'm spineless, this, that and the other, because they care. They absolutely do care. However, people's levels, you have to be on it for 46 games of a season, and that's tough at times. The start of the season absolutely curtailed us, and I think if the start of the season is different, I think we comfortably get 100 points. That's just my opinion. You can tell me to go suck an egg. You can tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. You can tell me that Farke's clueless and tactically inept, all this, that and the other. My main criticism of Farke, and it's always been the same throughout the season, is that his substitutions have always come too late. And they should have happened earlier for me. And don't be afraid to change it at half-time. Hell, Bielsa wasn't afraid to change it in the first half of a game if he felt like it wasn't going to how it needed to be. But we're sore, we're upset, we're angry. There will be more knowledgeable people than me that will put far better tactical analysis out there in terms of how we played, how we haven't played, all of that kind of stuff, and, you know, let them go at it. For me, it's trying not to be too overtly emotional and you know, knee-jerk reaction with it. There are going to have to be some big decisions made over the summer, 100%. You know, we're going to have to fight off quotes for Archie Gray, all of that kind of stuff. But we need to attack this season, the next season coming up, and we have to be at it from the start. Otherwise, we can kiss it goodbye very, very quickly. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see what comes out in the wash. Let's see who stays, who goes, who we're rumoured to be after, who we're going to get, all of that kind of stuff. But I'm very disappointed. I'm upset. I'm not angry. I half expected it. I'm just down about it all, really. And, you know, thank you to all the content creators that I've worked with this season. Thank you to all of the content creators that have put me on this season. Just Joe, Jer, all of those people, you know, Not Another Leeds podcast. All of those guys, I really appreciate you all. And, you know, I'm going to still be here. I'm still going to be making videos. And we move on to next season. And, you know, let's see if we can make it the season that we want it to be. That's going to do it for this one, guys. If you haven't done so already, if you could hit the subscribe button, if you're new to the channel as well, if you could comment, like, share, do whatever. I'm now going to cry in a corner and be very, very upset for a little while, but we will be back. And as ever, marching on together, all Leeds are we.